my God, guys. I think I have a future in singing. I'm just telling you. But what's up, y'all? It's your boy Tvshka. And it's a Josh.
It's me.
Josh, what's going on, bud? Besides your fantasy team, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's still it was 30 degrees last week, and now it's back to being 75 here. So it's
Bro,
just
right?
that's just kind of the part we are. But we fell back, but we're still standing, as some
Yep.
would say. Those except for Iowa and Arizona. Congratulations, you had the same time every daggone year. I don't know why. I still have yet to understand why we're doing it, but here we are. And I just know it's still football season. We're halfway through the season.
I am with you. Daylight saving is bullshit. I also think time codes or time zones are dumb too. Just go to uniform time code. Everybody just figure your shit out, do your own math, and get it done. But yeah, this time of the year, around here, we call it heater cooler season because in the morning you turn the fucking heating on, and probably about 10, 11 o'clock, you got to turn the AC on because it's a 40-degree swing. Because, hey, why not global changing or climate changing? Global climate changing, universal global climate changing
championship,
heating and cooling.
Yeah, heating and cooling. HVAC. We're in the HVAC scenario here. All right, we're in the HVAC.
Yeah. Well, if you guys can't tell, I've had a long day. Josh, how's your day been going so far, man?
Yeah, it's kind of the same. It's a Monday, but you know what? That's why I do this. I like to do this show on the Monday to take away from the fact that it's Monday.
That's right. Hey, cheers, and chin, motherfuckers, to all you out there on your Mondays.
That's right. Louisville's still good football.
Let's do it, man. Well, let's jump into it. My brain is injured. Who else is injured?
Daniel Jones.
God dang it, right?
He literally, like as soon as he did the non-contact, I was like, that's an ACL. People are like, oh, Daniel Jones would be the one. I'm like, I know you want to make fun of him, but it still sucks. Like, you still feel bad. But hey, don't feel bad for him. And good news for the thing, he still collects $35 million at the end of this year. So
still a rich son of a bitch.
Yep. Still got a decent pocketbook.
Yeah. But that does suck though. Like, to be injured previously, work your way back. The team adjusts. They're doing what they can. You have other players go on IR.
Right.
I know you're gonna get to. You don't even have my boy Waller on there. Come on now. But then come back and get injured again. That fucking sucks, man. I mean, that's kind of soul crushing. Not you, soul in the background. Other souls with a U.
With a U.
Jamie Foxx. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, Jamie Foxx, soul crushing. But yeah, who else is broke?
Speaking about it sucks when you re-injure. He didn't re-injure. He just tore the other one. Cam Akers tore his other Achilles. He tore his left Achilles. He tore his right one in 2021. So the guy he hasn't been the same. So you tear two Achilles, and only took one to take down the dude from Troy. So it's not. I don't know
what was his name.
Achilles.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Good pull. Movie trivia schmodown, man. Good job.
Yeah. Well, Brad Pitt.
Yeah, that was his name. Yeah.
Replay.
Yeah. I mean,
but that still sucks.
Pull them both, dude. That's just bad luck, and it's also very common too because Waller did the same thing with his hamstrings.
He's just he's on almost on groidindex.com. Shout out to the fantasy footballers, but no, he's on hamstrings. Right. It ain't the pork ones, it's the bad ones. So he's gonna be on the shelf for a little bit, but he really hasn't been. The Giants just can't catch a break because Saquon was kind of hobbling the whole game too. So it was just from BS stuff. So it is what it is. The one that me and you are kind of focused in on is we need to see if our boy Josh Downs can come back a little bit because he hurt his knee, which they don't have any details on it. So who knows exactly what the knee injury is? Typically, our boy he's been doing pretty well, but he's on his way to having a decent game, but he unfortunately injured his knee. Some good news. Oh, actually, last thing. KJ Osborne got knocked the F out. It was pretty scary because I watched it live and everyone was freaking out. Thankfully, he did get up and just hop on the cart on his own accord. The coach said, he's tougher than nails. Probably won't be playing next week when you get knocked out like that. Just go back and watch. If anybody doesn't want to watch, if anyone's a weird person that likes to watch people get knocked out, just go watch Austin Collie tapes because he would get his concussions were ridiculous. He's got CTE at the wazoo. Old wide receiver for the Colts. But anyway, some good news. Kyler Murray is said to start Sunday. The coach came out.
Yeah.
So for hopefully that's the reason they probably moved off of Josh Dobbs and just got something for him. Than sticking with, just trying to make something out of nothing. When you're paying Kyler Murray all that money, there's no reason to not get something for Josh Dobbs. And it looks like it's going to work out for both of them, based on what Josh Dobbs just did.
What did that trade look like for Dobbs? I didn't really
read
any
rounder.
details.
I mean, it really wasn't. I think it was a 6th rounder, I believe. Don't quote me on that one, but it was a late round pick.
Yeah, okay.
That they did trade for him, but they got at least something. Something's better than nothing.
Yeah, for 24.
Yeah, I believe it was 2024 6th round pick.
Good turn.
Somewhere around there. And if people sit there and say that those rounds don't matter, ask the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy was the last one they took in the whole entire draft. Mr. Irrelevant. I know he's on a 3-game skid, but
right.
But he's better than their first rounder that they spent a whole bunch of draft capital for. So it is what it is on that. But yeah, and then ask Tom Brady if being a late round pick doesn't matter. So all you gotta do is have a seat at the table, and if they draft you, you have a shot at making the team and then making some noise. And the other one's Khalil Herbert is coming off of IR. Now this doesn't mean that he's going to be playing next week. He is just cleared to practice. Typically 2 weeks is what I would give Khalil Herbert. Hopefully by that point, our boy will be back in the quarterback position, and then we can see some just late game stuff because we'll see if it's going to work out for him and the Bears, because I think the Bears are going to be coached by Jim Harbaugh next year, not because of what's going on in Michigan, just because he's been wanting to go back to him. And I think that's I'm not going to get into Michigan stuff. It's pretty crazy, that whole situation.
So kind of for the 2 weeks deal, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, 2 weeks he had been back, half the snap counts shared there with Zach Moss, and then much to my dismay, now he's back and he's taken the full brunt. So glad he's back for his own good, but fuck you though at the same time. Yeah, because Zach Moss was such a great pickup for me while it lasted.
Yeah. Any other injury news that I didn't touch on? I didn't see anything else.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I mean, we talked about the Giants a little bit. Tyrod Taylor also got put on IR along with Darren Waller. That was kind of midweek. I think that's kind of when that happened, maybe Thursday.
Right.
Their offense is just in shambles.
Yeah.
And their defense as well. So just, hit the alarm button on that team and just maybe stay away.
Now they got Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah. I know, man. I wish I could have finished the video because you saw where I was going with that one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. On there, but yeah, that's all I have as of right now for injuries. I wanted to put some good news in there because that's just definitely Dallas Goedert broke his arm, by the way, tight end.
Okay, yeah, that's not good news.
No. I forgot to put the bad news before, and then I forgot to tell all the bad news because I was jumping around because I just saw KJ. I just put my notes. KJ Osborne got knocked the F out, and because he's fine, that's the reason I put it that way, because he really did. It was crazy. And then I just skipped over because I want to talk about Josh Downs because we actually have some investment in him. And then Dallas Goedert, he broke his arm. So sorry, ended on a sour note.
Out for the season, they expect him in the NFL playoffs, or.
Yeah, they expect him. They probably expect him back. Hopefully, which just depends on how bad the break is, and they have reported on how bad the break is. If there's any ligament damage or anything like that, you really don't know until you have the MRIs and CAT scans and all the other scans and whatnot.
Yeah.
The next day. So, yep, that's what I got for injuries.
Awesome, man. That sounds like a top 10 injury report.
Hey,
see what I did there? See what I did?
Yeah, segue, bitches. We need to put that up. We need to put that as a thing. Segue, bitches. All right. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's the top 10. But yeah, overall, CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. Basically, if you're on the Texans or the Cowboys, you made the top 10. in some form or fashion.
If your team plays located in the state of Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to think if there's any other ones. Yeah, it's just those two for now.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely crushing it. Overall, top 10. We actually had a defense with the Indianapolis Colts getting in the top 10 overall with 27 points. So that's nuts. But we're going to jump into the quarterbacks. Top 10 quarterbacks, like we said, CJ Stroud, 42 points, 5 tutties, baby. Is this guy real or not?
Yeah.
And then why is he on this guy's team, Super Bowl Sammy, and not on my team? Because this guy has a spoiled amount of riches because he also had Jalen Hurts, who came in third. But coming in second is Dak Prescott with 28 points. Hurts got 26 himself. But by the way, just said no, congratulations. The rich keep getting richer. Josh Allen for the Shriners got 26. I don't get him, man. I really don't get him. Like, their offense can suck and not really, they'll win games and then they won't score any points, and then they lose games and then they score points. Because 18 points, it was just a bunch of yardage, but they just couldn't get into the end zone. So that was just kind of rough to watch, especially as a Diggs fan and owner. But the big news, Josh Dobbs, bud.
That was all that whole segment of watching Houston and Minnesota basically like coming down the wire, both of them just doing crazy stuff. It's fun. That's the stuff that you're like, see, this is why we like football. Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. It was a really good football weekend for exciting games.
Right.
Just not fantasy sports.
No, fantasy was very low scoring.
But Josh Dobbs, man, he's on our waiver wire, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
He may not be for much longer. So you may want to put in your waiver order or claims right now. But that brother came in with 25 points, man, off the practice squad after just getting traded this week. Maybe a half practice, handful of throws, and the whole time the offensive coordinator is in his ear the whole game. Hey, okay, this is who this person is. This is their name.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, I don't know. I would love to see the NFL films on that.
And just him over there with the whole offensive line, that video of him with the offensive line all around him, like learning, like listening to his cadence to get it down. On the sideline, and then him going out and doing it. So let's just put it this way: is it Kirk Cousins or is it the system?
As far as what it's
just because Josh Dobbs went out there and did that, and
they got a good team.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, if you put Zach Wilson in that, it's not going to turn out that way, right?
Dobbs,
you know what I mean?
Dobbs is show that he's definitely a good investment. He definitely belongs in the NFL. Obviously, it's the right
guy is literally a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what the nickname was, but NASA actually gave him a nickname that I think people are going to start calling him. But anyways, finish up the top 10 for quarterbacks. Josh Burrow. See, this is how long of a day it's been. But anyways,
Monday brain,
coming in with 22 points.
Monday brain.
Tyreek Hill, man, I didn't know he's a quarterback. 21 points. Billy Mayfield coming at 19 points.
Yeah.
Darnell Watson. And Tyrone Biggums Baggert coming in at 19. Okay, I'm not even going to mention Hill's name again until we get to the tight ends. But what's going on with Baggert, man?
Sacrilegious that Hill is on both lists. Put him on one.
I know. We don't got to go through this again, though. Just count to 10. But Baggett, though, man, what's this kid's story? And is he for real there in Chicago?
He's almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains. Actually, that song's about the western part of Virginia, not West Virginia. But anyway, he's a West Virginia product. I thought he was French, which I was like, man, who knew the French were tough? People were like, no, he's from West Virginia. So I was like, okay, what type of West Virginia name is Badgett?
Well, the French did colonize different areas. So
I'm aware of colonization. We're not getting a history lesson, but just go with it. On that, colonialism, it's great.
Speaking of colonialism, check out Echo coming in January 10th.
Right. Yes, exactly. Sponsor, even though it's not. But we are luckily, we will whore out for some sponsorship, people. We've said it before. I'll say it again.
Yeah, we're just straight whore out. But back in though, Just a one and done, or I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think he'll actually be back?
I
Did you
mean,
watch much of his
he
game?
did that against New Orleans at New Orleans,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's just he's at the fringe top 10, so like he'll put up decent numbers now. But I mean, the week before he was terrible.
yeah,
So it just depends on what Bears team decides to show up and care. Really, on that. I mean, Deshaun Watson had one of the dumbest touchdown passes ever, where he got tipped away up in the air, and then the defender was like sitting there looking at like the
yeah,
easiest pick ever. Then Amari Cooper just went yoink, and he just
yeah,
started laughing
yeah,
on that.
yeah.
I picked up Baker in my other league because
Mhm.
I literally picked up I picked up Stafford, then he went down, so I was like crap. And I was minute to pick up Dak, didn't get him, so I was like I need a quarterback, and I just randomly picked up Baker because they were playing Houston, and
Mhm.
it worked out. But it took some late game heroics to make his stats actually worth a crap
Yeah.
on
Yeah, that
that.
was an
So
exciting finish to that game.
yes, it
What
was.
was not an exciting finish is the top 10, bud. I mean, 19 points gets you in the top 10 as a QB.
That's why I'm
I
not big on
mean,
Badgett, basically.
well, right, but like we're used to seeing these 20s and 30s, and this week was just rough. I know. I mean, we'll get into the league scores, but our quarterbacks didn't score over 10 points. I mean, I don't know if you all watch and if your quarterback scored more than 10 points, but apparently
don't
that's a win this weekend.
don't
Um,
start your quarterback against the Ravens. Apparently, is something
yeah.
you should not do.
Or don't start your quarterback that is a Raven. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
and Lamar did put on his Instagram that he apologized to all the fantasy
Oh,
owners. He
I
did
did
put
see
that
that.
out there. He's
I
like, I'm
felt that.
sorry for real, but
Sorry,
there's no
man.
point of him having to do it if you don't have to.
Yeah.
On
Yeah,
that.
no,
So
but they ran the ball, and that gets us next to running backs, man. Top 10 running
mhm.
backs. Let's switch it over. God, dude, Ronnie White, man, killing it. Or I can't.
Rashad
I
White,
don't even know Rashad. Yeah.
Rashad White. I'm so
Anyways, I'm
glad
just
that I
gonna say
have.
last names, guys. White, 28 points. Stevenson, 23 points. Finally getting into the game of football.
Yeah,
Welcome back. My boy Josh Jacobs
welcome back.
saving me and actually scoring over 10 points with 22. Mitchell with 20 there for Baltimore.
Yep.
And we'll get to another one here soon. Derrick Henry getting 19 points there against Pittsburgh. And then, like we talked about earlier, Jonathan Taylor actually showed up and is taking all my points away from me, and he got 18 of those. Aaron Jones, is he back? I mean, is this real? I mean, pinch me because I got him on my bench. He scored 18 points.
If Aaron Jones
Yeah,
plays, I would play him.
yeah,
That's my rule for this season. But the thing is, he's gotten that groin index / hamstring index.com, and he hasn't been healthy all season.
yeah.
Now,
Body
granted,
index.
they played a really, it's just the Rams are just bad. So
Yeah,
and Jordan Love is not good either. So if they were, and AJ Dillon, if you showed him here's a gap and he'll still run to the back of his lineman.
Mhm.
So Aaron Jones is the only one that I'm like, because receivers can't catch. Jordan Love can't read a defense. AJ Dillon can't read a freaking gap. The only person that seems competent on that offense is Aaron Jones.
Yeah, and kind of with that, I mean, the attempts he had 14 attempts, and still fairly low. I mean, all things considered, but he
Mm-hmm.
also did get 6 targets. But yeah, no, it's one of those things. He's the heart and soul of the team. He's probably one of the longest running Packers right now at this point, as far as within the building.
Yeah.
But yeah, you feed him, everybody gets fed.
Yeah.
Like, he's the cook for the Packers, so just keep doing that, guys, because I'm going to start putting him in. Who I can't put in because he's not on my team because he's on shoes. Joe Mixon, man, Oklahoma alumni, getting 18 points. And then you got Madison with Minnesota against that Atlanta game that I think everybody was excited. Atlanta lost, getting 17 points for himself. And then the second Baltimore running back in the top 10, Gus the Bus Edwards, honk honk, getting 17 points, man.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, him and Mitchell, is Mitchell a fluke or is Mitchell something to consider with this?
This
Or
is
is
the
it just
Ravens. This
Seattle
is what they do because you also have
yeah,
Justice Hill that still gets snaps as well.
who got the majority of the snaps,
Right.
just not the
So
yardage?
this
Yeah.
is what, but this is what Baltimore does. Now, granted, they actually have three like Mitchell is a rookie, which we'll get into kind of going over kind of the fun, cool little rookie week that we had. But yeah, Gus Edwards has been. This is what Gus Edwards we expect because he's shown this before. He's tore his ACL. I think last season, or something like that. But the Ravens, even with this system, they still run the ball really well with that. But Lamar does what he needs to do. And they don't try and put him in bad situations or make him put the cape on. So, it's what stinks is you bench Lamar, he goes off. You start Lamar,
33 points.
33. Yeah. And I did
Lamar,
the same thing. I benched CJ Stroud, started Lamar. Lamar didn't do anything. CJ Stroud goes off for a decade.
Right.
So, if I would have swapped it, Lamar would have gone off for, his 800 points and 5 touchdowns and all the other fun stuff. And CJ Stroud would have been, twiddling his thumbs on the sidelines, wondering who he is, probably. But that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But
yeah, well, and crumble the cookie did for the wide receivers. They're in the top 10. CeeDee Lamb, 28 points. Nate Brown's 27 points with the Houston Texans. Amari Cooper, 25. Stephon Diggs, my dude, up there with 23 points. Deontay Johnson actually scored. Finally, I think his first
time in 19 games. It's been 2 years.
Yeah, it's been 84 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming in with 22 points. And then this guy, Anthony Jamison Brown. I don't know if that's his actual initials or his name with those, but AJ Brown, 20 points. I mean, is that kind of a slump for him at this point?
Yeah, because he didn't have over 125 yards receiving.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, you didn't get over 125. He's not in the 30s. He's not throwing 50 burgers. But no, still, I mean, if that's your floor, good God. Congratulations, Shane O'Mac, for having him. Higgins getting in the top 10, man, in the conversation, 19 points. We got Dotson with 17 points. Christian Olave Garden, 17 points. I also love that guy's not on the Olave Garden team.
Not anymore. I think it was at the beginning of the season.
Did they trade or?
I think they traded him. Yeah.
Okay. Odell Beckham, right? Got a teddy there with them.
First one of the year.
15 points.
First one of the year.
Yep, first one of the year for him.
And it was from Lamar Jackson Jr., Tyler Huntley.
Yeah. Come in the garbage time.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, there's 37-3 romping of the Seattle Seahawks was abysmal. And I was pissed whenever they benched him. I was like, God bless it. I mean, good for you guys getting to coast and be easy, but really wrecking it. But anything stand out for the wide receivers? I mean, other than the Texans and the Cowboys just going off.
It's a history lesson for those kids out there.
Oh,
the top 3 scorers.
I didn't take notes.
Our CeeDee Lamb. We're both just namers. Our name games is great this episode. CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, and Amari Cooper. What do those 3 receivers all have in common?
They used to be on the Cowboys?
Yep. Used to be on the Cowboys. And now they all 3 went off. And that's not the last of the former / are on the Cowboys as far as a top 3 scorer this week. But we'll get into that the next in the next segment of the top 10 for there. But I thought that was just like, really, the Cowboys just could not get out of their own. They played such a good game, but yet didn't at the same time. I don't know, guys. I'm just saying there might be a Cowboys fan on here. It's a little bitter for how that game ended. But just to see.
Well, no, but I mean, you look at it and you look at the stats, you look at the scores. I mean, all the metrics, it's like, holy shit, like, how did they not win?
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because they couldn't get to the fucking end zone. What was it, like 2 back-to-back drives? All they needed was like 3 or 4 yards, and they would have at least gotten like 14 points or 8 or 16 points because it was a 2-point conversion on one of those.
We had that tight end that caught the ball. They called it a touchdown, but where he caught the ball was just outside the goal line. So they called it, but he was being tackled while he was. I don't know how that kind of worked out.
Yeah. That one, it felt like he didn't secure it until he was at the line. Like, as far as actual reception, his knee was on the left side, but the ball was on the line.
Right. Yeah. And then Dak, I thought he scored in real time. We've been watching it, and then they show the replay. He stepped out. But it's just like, I don't really blame Dak for that. People were drowning and dragging
No.
because people just like to drag Dak for some reason for a lot of times. I
Yeah.
don't blame him for that, but that would have made it a 3-point game. And then then we get the ball back. The next drive, we go all the way down to the 1 yard line, and then just decide to just backtrack the whole damn time. If we would have gotten that 2-point conversion, we would kick the field goal and seen what happened. Gotten some more free football. So it's just a weird, just craziness turn of events. But that's why we always love. That's why it's such a good rivalry, especially when teams are like that. But it's just the story of Dallas for the past 25 years. It's like they put out a decent product, they just can't get those extra couple plays to get over the hump.
Yeah, and that was at Philadelphia. You all
Yeah.
play them one more time, right?
Yep, at Dallas.
Probably in December.
Probably the last game of the season, I think. It's either that or the Giants. We always play the Giants or the Eagles last game of the season.
Yeah, and I think that's the way it should be. Your division games should be the last 4 games you play, because everybody should be in full form. Pending injuries and all that. But you should play your way into the top spot in your division, and so you guys will have to do that. And I'm expecting you guys to do it. I think you guys will. I mean, it's not like the ship is not righted. You guys did well. It's just kind of how some of the how things fall. And
the tush push is something crazy. I mean, it just I don't think it should be banned, because not everyone can successfully do it like the Eagles. So people,
and I don't think anybody ever will.
No, it all works out and all that. Plus, obviously as a Swift owner, I don't like it, but as a football fan, I'm like, even if it was your team, you would be like, why is it what? The only people that are griping about it are the fans of the opposing teams that they do it against, and just they know it's a cheat code, and they can't stop it, and they can't duplicate it either. So I'm like, that's just jealousy. That's not anything but pure jealousy.
Penis envy. Yeah. That's what it is.
Freudian.
But speaking of Swift, let's go to tight ends. Schultz, baby. He's still playing in Texas, but not for the Cowboys.
That was the number 4. The top 4 producing wide receivers / tight ends were all either play for or were former Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're done with the Cowboys, bud. You don't hear me talking about the Chiefs all the time, do you?
Yeah, you do.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, they are awesome. Good win out there in Germany. Cole Kmet coming in second with 24 points.
Yeah, I like Cole Kmet. He's been
right. Apparently, nobody else does, because he's not on anybody's team.
Oh well, he's definitely going to be. He's going to be picked up by my my general manager, because we're at tight end now. He's kind of broke his arm. So
well, you're not the only one that's looking for tight ends, because some of ours are on IR. Anyways, but Otten coming in at 23rd or third place.
We got Otten here.
Points. Yeah, Otten. Yeah, as in we Otten get through this top 10 a little bit faster. Ferguson, there's your Dallas boy, 22 points. Smith for Atlanta coming with 21. Tyreek Hill, 21 points as a tight end. Man, he's so versatile. Why didn't I read his name in the wide receivers? Oh, that's right, because we stripped your ass for 6 points. Andrews coming in 17 points. Kincaid, man, good pickup by Giff. 16 points, and he looks like he's there to stay for a while. Yeah. Musgrave is another that has been in the top 10 at least for the last 2 weeks, I believe, maybe 3. They're for Green Bay, and not on anybody's team. So if you guys need tight ends, these are some good selections here. But he gets 14 points against the Rams. And then Hawkinson with both new quarterbacks, because one of them got knocked out, coming into 14 points to round off the top 10 for tight ends. We'll go ahead and just keep moving forward with defenses. You got the Colts 27 points. You got the Browns with 24. You got the Raiders with 20. A little bit of that revenge game. You got the Ravens with 16. You got the Saints with 15. Chiefs coming to 14 points. Packers at 13. Falcons 11 points. Rams 11 points. And producer, there we go. Rams 11 points, and Patriots with 9 points. So some high scoring defenses, but also at the same time, 9 points in the top 10, not as high as it has been the last few weeks. Same as for the kickers as well. You got Koo coming with 19, McLaughlin with 16 points. You got Tucker with 14. You got Carlson with 14 as well. Then Gay, Joseph, and Folk have 11. And then Hopkins with 9, and Boswell and Panera Bread with 8. So any of those 3, I mean, and tight ends, obviously, probably streaming them to a degree. But I mean, if you got injuries like we do, you're maybe looking for somebody a little more permanent and looking at their schedule. But anything kind of stand out with those?
No, I mean, just like I said before, when it comes to kickers, as long as they're in a dome, that's kind of what you want to focus in on, a team that can move the ball and are in a dome on that. So, and I mean, Tucker is always going to be Tucker. But, you know, Carlson's always been solid with Las Vegas. I always liked him as far as scoring wise as a kicker. For that, and
especially since they can't get into the end zone very often.
No.
And, this weekend they did.
But. No. It's like they have a competent coach that they actually like, which we'll get into in our next segment.
Teams after them getting dropped are 100% win.
Yeah,
deadlock every time.
So weird about that
because you have such a change in culture, such a change in energy. Everybody is smoking cigars and on the same page.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much. Go look for the guys with that are playing in a dome that their team can actually move the ball, but doesn't know what to do when they get in the red zone.
So the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty much.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't mean to make it a Cowboy thing. You said it. I just agreed.
You're not the top 10.
No.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I was just trying to be a wild card.
Wild card, bitches.
Yeehaw! Wild card music. We're gonna do Cholo dance. Yeah. So what you got, Josh?
I've got. It's the new kids on the block who have the right stuff. Okay. Because this is about that time of year that you see the rookies of the world start contributing at a very high level. Okay. So typically, sometimes you have like those Jamar Chases that get out from a hot start and then just keep going. Sometimes you'll have a not Jonathan Taylor, but you'll have those rookies. I was trying to think of a running back off the top of my head. I can't think of one. Maybe a Clinton Portis way back when, just to throw that out there.
Pull. I like that.
So he ended up rushing for like 1,100 or 1,500 yards or something in his rookie season. It was ridiculous. He was gone away the offensive rookie of the year. So, but like you have those outliers, but typically it's not until they finally get used to the speed and the system and everything like that you really start seeing them produce. Okay. For example, Keaton Mitchell for the Ravens. He's a rookie, went off this week. Kind of another Ravens. If anybody remembers J.K. Dobbins, even though he's been hurt and stuff now, but still, he came on late his rookie season. Jackson Smith and Jigba right now. He's starting to finally get into the Seahawks offense. Even though they were terrible offensively this week, he still had like 10 points. Okay. Yep. So
also Kenneth Walker last year.
Right. Kenneth Walker did really well. So you see that. Now the ones I want to highlight is CJ Stroud, Tank Dell, and Keaton Mitchell. Okay. Yep. Now obviously CJ Stroud and Tank Dell on the same team, and he threw for a gajillion yards and 5 touchdowns. So that happens.
Yeah. Everybody got fed on that game.
Yeah. Another thing I always want to, and just keep in mind, and it doesn't always happen, but typically it does. When you fire your coach midway through the season, we kind of alluded to it previously, your coach, your team ends up having like a really good game, or they don't pull a Jeff Saturday where they just hire some guy with no coaching experience and then, win their first game, which was against the Raiders, which is kind of funny. But then just be terrible for the rest of the season. But Antonio Pierce, they rally around the person that they actually like, and they really want to play for him. And then he obviously has still the same coaching staff and stuff like that. So they end up playing really well. Jacoby Meyer had a good game. Devontae Adams was okay, but he definitely was better in a mindset. Josh Jacobs played really well. So, Aiden O'Connell, another rookie quarterback out of Purdue that came in and played really well. Obviously, they blew out I forgot the Giants. But Giants are just it's just a sad story. The Giants are, but still, they put on a dominating performance.
Yeah, they also had a rookie as well.
Right. And the other thing, this is just kind of a cool little thing. I just wanted to highlight when they're a rookie on their new team, because Josh Dobbs is not a rookie, but he did join a new team, got thrown in the trenches. But Baker Mayfield did this last year with the Rams.
Yeah,
I think it was against I forget who it was. It might have been, I forget who it was.
Yeah, I'll find it. Go ahead.
Yeah, he came in and crushed it last year with knowing the playbook by like 2 seconds. I mean, like we said, Josh Dobbs was teaching his lineman cadences and played just extremely well. Now you got Minnesota fans shaving their eyebrows and stuff in unity of Josh Dobbs and stuff like that. So, one game can spin a culture. We'll see how it still goes. I think, and plus with that system and that coach, I think it's going to be pretty well. But yeah, so this is kind of the highlight of if there's some rookies out there that are still on waivers, or you're thinking, I don't know if I want to start them. This is kind of the time that those rookies, if you're expecting them to do something, this is the time that they make that next step and actually start contributing for your fantasy team and are worth a start and not just a bench spot for that. I think, let me see what Quentin Johnston's doing right now. He might not be doing anything.
While you're looking that up, to your Baker Mayfield question, he won 2 out of 3 games. Las Vegas, Green Bay, and Denver, but he beat Vegas and Denver, so he did well against the AFC West.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, no, Quentin Johnston just has 1 for 4, but he's still just I don't know. He's not that great. He hasn't been that great this year, and he should be on that Chargers team. But you still have some other talented rookies that are playing really well this year. I mean, Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave have always been playing solid since the start last year on that. I didn't really take them too much to get going, but you're kind of seeing that a lot. I mean, it took Justin Jefferson, 3 games to be Justin Jefferson his rookie season on that. So it's just, but those are typically the trends. If they're kind of having a slow start, this is about the time. Because I think Isaiah Pacheco, basically, this is about the time that he really turned the gear last year for the Chiefs. But you can,
I mean, to a degree. I mean, we still aren't necessarily run heavy, which is unfortunate. But I mean, you also have outliers like Puka Nacua, right, this year coming out hot. Devin Achan, and then let me see who else.
But Zach Charbonnet is finally getting a little bit more carries.
Laporta tight end.
Laporta, yeah.
Of course, Robinson, not too much.
Nope.
Good Lord. I mean, I know everybody's wanting that head coach out of there for some reason. Yeah. But no. I mean, like I said, I mean, perfect analysis. They're getting used to the system. But also for the coaches, they're getting used to the system and the players as well. So you see the Chiefs, they start off slow. You see the Bengals, they start off slow. A lot of them that kind of know they have the pieces to be in the playoffs, they're starting off a little slower, not opening up the playbook as much and not acting out of desperation. But then this is about the midpoint of the year where they start looking at the schedule, they start looking at their record, and they're like, okay, we need to win these 4 or 5 games. So that way we get over 10, we get over 12 or 13, however many they need for the division. And they start opening up the playbook a little bit more and being a little more aggressive on offense and defense as well. But offensively, for our fantasy players. So
gotcha.
I like that, man. I like it. So who should I pick up and nobody else even touch?
Really don't know off the top of my head.
No,
don't pick up anybody for Atlanta that's a rookie because Arthur Smith doesn't like offense.
Oh my God.
It's just y'all Atlanta either you can't free the coach because he's winning. So he always has that card. But just free Bijan Robinson, free your tight end.
Hey, Chiefs will take him.
Yeah,
maybe not that price
Drake
tag,
London.
We'll take him.
They're great talents. That
seriously,
on a team that
Pitts?
they're like, nah, dude.
Like with Pitts, man.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts. Pitts go block while Jonnu Smith throws a touchdown to the other tight end that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Damn it. But But yeah, I mean, just the rookie running backs. I would look and see like the Keaton Mitchell. There you go. I would at least take a stab at him because I mean he looked pretty good there. But it just depends. That's a three-headed monster. It's just tough to get around that. But yeah, I would just see if I would sit there and tell you a Bronco to pick up, but the Broncos suck. And Javonte Williams actually looked pretty decent 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 1 week out of 9. Yeah, okay.
Hey, I'm just saying he's not a rookie.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was rookie last year and he tore his ACL. So that's another thing. You know, those guys that tore their ACLs and stuff like that a year ago. This is about the time where they get they get that gear back. They're fully healthy. So, you know, just check the waiver wire. See if there's. It's all about snap percentages at this point. Just get real into the weeds. So look at the rookies and stuff like that, and check to see their actual snap percentages of them actually being on the field, and that should tell you if the coach believes in them or not. And if they do, and then look at their target share. Is it going up? Is it staying the same? So are they? I can't think of the word.
Are they correlating? Because like you said, the snap percentage is the coach's choice, but the target is the quarterback. So you've got to be friends with both the coach and the quarterback. If you're a wide receiver, if you're running back, I mean, some of that is game script as far as how much touches you get. But a lot of these running backs, you're looking at their targets for reception, especially with us being a full PPR, you know, points per reception. You want those. You want 5 to 10, you know, targets for your player, because that means, you know, at least, you know, 5 receptions typically.
I really like Jahmyr Gibbs right now going forward.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and Jahmyr Gibbs is another rookie as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Alabama. So, and they traded up for him, and people were giving Dan Campbell Arthur Smith crap because he's like, why don't you? And he's like, I tell you what, man, and Montgomery was killing it, so he just got hurt, and then Reynolds got hurt, so they really didn't have another running backs, and then Gibbs came back, so they're like, I guess I got to run him, and then he's like, you know, good at football. That's why you traded up to draft him. So if you find somebody that has Jahmyr Gibbs, you might tell them. Hopefully they got a little amnesia for that week where they actually like.
And they're not watching this show right now.
And they're not watching the show right now. And see if you can buy low, because right now they're going to be selling pretty high. For Jahmyr Gibbs. But I really like Jahmyr Gibbs going forward as far as the rookies are concerned. He just was off this week, therefore he probably didn't appear.
Yeah. Well, I love it, man. I just wish I would have had that video done in time for you.
Sorry.
We'll get it done by midnight. We'll release it, and that way you all can enjoy that later. But yeah, anything else before we transition to league scores, bud?
No, that's pretty much it. Just like I said, this is about the time the rookies, if they're going to take the next step, this is about the time they're going to start doing it.
Yeah, and a lot of them are doing it. I mean,
yeah,
I you know, just kind of to expound a little bit, you know, high level. I know there's injuries that are forcing the hand, but I wonder if there's also a little bit of truth in ownership looking at this and saying, hey, there's a lot of really good young talent that we're just going to go with because they're cheap.
Right.
You know, and just really leaning on the first 5 years of these individuals' contracts, because it just seems like people are retiring a little bit earlier. They're kind of getting, you know, segued out of the league a little bit, you know, at a younger age. You know, because it is a young man's league for sure, you know, 20s to 30s. But I don't know. I'm just kind of looking at it, and it's like, man, there's so many young talent, because Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, that's the senior class other than the elders. You know, there's like 2 or 3 that are, you know, Stafford and, you know, of course, you know, Rodgers and others that are still there, but those are the ones that are really making all the noise. You know, Allen and Burrow in there as well.
Yeah,
Burrow. What I call him before, Josh Burrow.
I mean, they both played each other, you know.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, but you know what I'm saying though, like on that. So I just wonder if they're going to start looking at that and like, hey, look, we're just going to lean on these younger, cheaper talent, and hey, 5-10 years, appreciate you, bye bye. You know,
typically, so Houston's in a really good spot because they found their quarterback. It looks right. So they have him on a rookie contract, so they can go out and sign somebody and surround him with those linemen and stuff like that.
Because is Nico Collins a rookie as well?
Nico Collins like in his 3rd year. Tank Dell is the rookie.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, I didn't know if Collins was rookie or not, but it's definitely
No, he's
his
just on his
breakout
first.
year.
He's been on the. He's just. I think it's his first year
Yeah.
with the Texans. I think it's like his second, third
Okay.
year. That's why they were like, yeah, the 3rd year breakout. That never like really it took 3 years, but
Yeah.
I mean it's working.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, no, it is
yep.
working for them. You know what's not working? Is the league scores
Leafs
for
old
you,
team.
bud. Oh
Our
man,
Leafs.
oh man. I just looked them up. We will
It's
not
so
touch that just yet.
Yeah.
We will also not touch Jason as far as Tar Heel for Life versus Team Super Bowl Sammy. We'll save those two for the last. Let's start with the Lave Garden. Lave Garden coming in at 168.18 points for the win over Team Saquon Barkinsdale.
He's got Olave. I don't know why it appeared that way, but he's got Olave on his team.
What was that?
He does have Olave on his team.
Yeah. Did you see what I saw though too?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I was like thrown off by it. I don't know why.
Okay. That glitch in the system,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen. So apologies for that confusion. I'm also looking cross-eyed too. No. But yeah, no, 168.18 points, man. A good showing, but not by the quarterbacks.
No.
Again, I mean, Tua 12.42, Minshew 9.58. I mean, there's individuals that should be at minimum like 20 points because they're getting every snap, they're passing it, they're running it themselves, to a degree. They're getting the touchdowns, or they should be. But yeah, just nothing from them. I know it's kind of bullshit. They did not count a fumble against Tua Tagovailoa, by the way. I'm not seeing that on there. He did fumble it, and he lost the game for him. So good job, Tua. But no, Barkley did come in with 14.3 points. 3 over Kamara, who got 11. But then Jerome Ford, actually got the win over the heads up with Kareem Hunt.
Right.
Which that's an interesting matchup. Same people on the same team. Hunt has been doing very well for the last few weeks. 16, 15, 15, but then he only came in with 9.8 this week. But still a good pickup, still a good trade, Mr. Haygood. But the actual Tyreek Hill, not Taysom Hill, 12.5 points and 1 fumble lost. Oh, shoot, man. That's too bad. We really would have loved to see you get a touchdown and see your celebration that you had planned for the Chiefs. That would have offended us. But anyways, yeah, no, you're good, man. You're in a good spot. Enjoy that weather in Miami. But he definitely lost heads up with A.J. Brown. He got 19.6 points. Dotson coming with 16. Lave was 16. But really, Ferguson, Dell is the big ones right there. 22, 29 points. As well as Higgins with 19. And then the Cleveland Brown defense being his, second highest scorer? I mean, I know it was the same for me in your matchup. Our defense is balled out and scored more than, most of the team. But anything you see with this matchup quickly, as far as what was the biggest difference maker, and what could have Team Saquon Barkinsdale, the 34th, do to possibly win that game, if anything at all?
I mean, he just need to have not his best players not on bye. That's pretty much what happened. He got bipocalypsed. Yep. It's just kind of what happened. This is kind of those type of things that happen. And he went against his boy. He got cursed because he benched Herbert for Tua.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore the fantasy gods and the Chargers fans all around the world saying all 5 of them, not counting. So that's 6. They got 6 fans now.
Right.
All basically cursed him. So that was kind of his downfall. You shouldn't have benched Herbert. Okay.
Well, we're with 9 minutes left in the 4th, and it looked like that was the right choice because Herbert only has 7 points right now.
It doesn't matter if it's the right choice. It's a bad. Okay. It's a bad.
My bad for trying to make data-driven decisions. My apologies, sir.
No, man.
Right. Anything else on that matchup, though?
No, I mean, it's just when Olave consistently hits the board like that with all of his players, right. That's just tough to beat. And it's not like there's. I mean, obviously Tank Dell and Ferguson and his defense went off, but you're going to have one player go off, but you just need to have those other players put up consistent performances to have that week in, week out type of thing. So, that they're going to get their targets. They're going to get their catches. That's why we keep harping on catches and stuff, because if you're relying on someone to catch a touchdown, Gabe Davis, then it's just going to suck. And it's tough. It's a tough sledding when you're for them to hit, to be even consistent, you need to have them score a touchdown. That's why tight ends are so tough, because that's why Laporta's and the Mark Andrews and the Hawkinsons and the Kelseys, even though this past week was weird, it's probably because Taylor Swift wasn't there. But
she was on tour, man.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, no, it's just, that's why if you look at target shares and how many they actually get from the quarterback, because that means that you're going to see consistently at least put on the board, make it respectable, like a Chris Olave. He did have a touchdown, or a T. Higgins, who 8 for 9 for 110 yards. Obviously he hasn't done that all season, but the targets have been there. He just didn't catch the ball, and Joe Burrow's been hurt. But that's the consistency you want.
That's his name, Joe.
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow.
No, I'm just going to call him Josh from now on.
Go Tigers.
Just out of disrespect. But anyway, yeah, anything else on this matchup, or we move on to the next?
That's it.
All right. Yeah, we go to Blackpool Combat Club, I believe, right? For some reason, it's not showing the full name there. There we go. Yeah, Blackpool Combat Club. Had it partitioned. Versus Reckless, man. Reckless. Congratulations. My dude, you got one win. You got one win. In week 10, you
got off the schneid.
You done did it, bud. Yeah, and he still has Eckler, so he could be putting up a little bit more points, maybe.
Give Taylor thoughts.
It's not gonna be too much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Griff is still. Oh man, I don't know if that hurts us. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, those are multiple messages, not just one repeated.
No.
As far as there's one more.
Yeah, his post-game press conference will not be shown on cable television.
But yeah, no. Heads up though. Derek Carr has been providing for sure the last couple of weeks. Baker Mayfield just showed up a little more. As far as the heads up. With 19 points versus Carr's 16.7. But man, Kenneth Walker just did not show up at all. He missed the bus with 2.7. Eckler so far has 14.10 and possibly climbing. But it looks like they may be in garbage time, knowing that they're going to lose this game. Win this. Now, Pollard, where's your Cowboy at, bro? 9.3 points.
Do we need to go about the red zone offense again?
No, we don't. We don't got time for the red zone. But apparently neither did your team as far as practicing red zone. But Joe Mixon did, because he got in the red zone one time, but also got 37 yards running and 31 yards receiving. But got himself 17.8 points. But Jamar Chase didn't show up. But it's all right, because Marquise Brown did not show up. Maybe he'll show up next week, but we'll see as far as Kyler Murray. But who did show up was Jacoby Myers with 13.5 points against Addison's, 10. Hawkinson, though, like you said, he's one of the staples, 13.9 points. But Mark Andrews, I don't know if he's won on the year. I think he's still below Kelsey a little bit.
Laporta, and Hawkinson, Laporta, Kelsey, and Andrews is creeping back up there for sure.
Yeah, definitely, because Kelsey's literally dropping the ball sometimes. But Andrews 17 points, making that difference there. Puka 6 points, right? Best. So was Boyd with 8. He did show up and actually get some receptions for once this year. But even with Amari Cooper getting 24.9 points against Hardman's 4, who is actually with the Chiefs now, but still has the Jets jersey on. You guys had the photo. You guys have the photo from last year. Just change. Even from August, just change it. Why is he still wearing green? Anyways, still wasn't enough as far as Cooper getting that many points. Cooper got 19 as a fucking kicker, scoring more than most of my team for sure. And then defense is kind of evening out. So anything you see that could have been a difference maker on the bench?
Gus Bus. Gus Bus.
Yeah.
Starting him over Pollard.
Yeah. And even though nobody's ever going to do this, he could have flexed the tight end.
He could
But
have. But that's
right.
tough to
He
do.
could have exactly though. Like you're not going to flex a tight end over Puka.
If you have, unless
know,
you have
but-
Laporta, Kelsey, or
Right.
Andrews
Yeah.
as your second tight end,
Yeah.
you're not flexing. It's just tough.
But this
If
guy
you
has
have
Hawkinson and Kincaid. I feel
Yeah.
like that's trade bait right there, baby.
Kincaid is.
Well, either one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to want to choose to hold on to Hawkinson, but
Right.
but no, that's definitely that's some good trade right there.
Especially with Carter
let's
Knox
talk.
out. So
Yeah, but let's talk, man. Waller IR, and then I can't remember who you had as tight end, but your boy broke his arm off. So give us a holler, man. Anything else on that matchup though, other than the elaborate series of fucks in the chat?
Yeah. No, I mean, and right now, me and Giff are both losing on the trade that we did for Puka and DeAndre Swift because I keep getting tush pushed, and the Rams are on the 7th quarterback. So it's kind of crazy there. But then other than that, Austin with Reckless getting off the schneid, like I told you before, Austin Eckler's been out, and it's tough to replace that much production on your number 1 draft pick. You can't fix them through the aggregate on like Moneyball. Like it's just tough to do. On that, you can try, and I've seen it before, but it's just all the cards have to fall. All the chips have to fall your way, or cards, or however you want to say it. You're going to say it. And so,
all the chips and cookies have to crumble your way.
Yes.
Right. Oh.
Cookies and cream.
But yeah, hey, Giff, by the way, I think you gave more fucks in the chat than you did for your team this week. Just saying. But yeah, let's move on to Dak Lives Matter. Because points didn't matter in that one versus Shriners, man. Dak Lives Matter, 81.6 points, which is the second to lowest showing. Sorry, I thought it was the lowest. Second to lowest showing of the weekend with Shriners with 104 having the lowest win total as far as for the weekend, but. Josh Allen getting 25 points again. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. Smithy, what's up, bud? Good to see you, man. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I am still watching. You got a courtesy like, hell yeah, man. We appreciate
Thanks,
you,
man.
brother.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah, our top patron right there in the chats hanging out. Now we're talking football, man, and who's not playing football as far as fantasy points wise is Patrick Mahomes. This is the second week at least in a row that he has not gotten up to 20 points. You guys might want to start looking at benching him because the schedule does not get easier. Maybe he will arise to the occasion as well as the rest of the team point-wise, but we'll see. What you got?
I will actually start him next week. They play the Eagles, and their secondary sucks.
That's true. They do have which is weird. I mean, like good record, bad fucking defense for once. I mean, it's Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like they're known for having good defenses.
Their defensive line is amazing, but their secondary is, unless they get home.
Yeah.
And that's the thing and that's why Dak was able to sit back there, scramble, and throw for over 400 yards and be pretty efficient on it. And then CeeDee Lamb was able to it's CeeDee Lamb. Find him out on the field. But they couldn't. So I do say, as far as if I would not bench them next week because they play in the Eagles, they have a good defense. Their secondary is not good.
Yep. Yeah. And your boys are winning tonight for sure. But unfortunately, they're not winning in the point columns for fantasy football owners. Neither is AJ Dillon. Came with 5 points. Harris, 15 points. Cook and Hall right now are bust. Flowers and Adams were bust. Even though he smoked a cigar in the break room. Pittman 14 points, though, actually showing up. Pickens did not even getting 2 points there. McBride not even getting 5 or barely over 5 points. Pitts not even 10 points. Again, I mean, like nobody is in double digits hardly this week, which is insane. Hopkins 10.5 points. Madison finally 17 points. Thank you. And then Smith Najigba, 12 points.
The rookie.
Where are the points at, bud?
We just talked about it's rookies. Coming on, but yeah, where are the points at? I don't know. Ask the whole entire fantasy community because there's really not a whole lot of points going around compared to what it
No.
has been
Yeah.
right now. So, I mean, unfortunately, like I said before, yeah, Patrick Mahomes has been obviously the past 2 weeks. He's had he had flu. He was sick, and then he travels to Germany. I mean, that takes a toll.
Right.
He did look a little better, but I mean, his defense basically won him that game, really and truly.
The defense has won every game.
Yeah, the
let's just be
defense
honest.
this is why it's kind of that's why you're all our cheat code this year, because this is the first time where Patrick Mahomes has a solid defense,
Mhm.
game in, game out. And then once Patrick Mahomes, but the only thing that's holding you all back is the fact that you don't have a solid. I mean, Rashid Rice is getting there, but you really don't have a solid chuck it up there and they're down there somewhere. Receiver.
I wouldn't say that. Mahomes is making a lot of the mistakes. Yeah. Mahomes is the one fumbling. 2 games in a row. He's the one making the poor decisions in double coverage and throwing interceptions. Yes, there has been drops. Yes, there has been fumbles by the receivers. There has been, basically tip passes and balls, but Mahomes has got to tighten it up as well. And I think our good defense has been a little bit of a crutch because we've been able to just kind of sit back and, the defense has it. Well, the defense is getting fucking exhausted and the defense is getting injured. 2 of our linebackers have gotten injured. And so it's not all on him. But it's not all on the receiver corps either. I know we don't have any sexy names, but we do have good players that whenever you make the right pass and right decision, it can happen. But yeah, they got to get on the same page. We can also get on the same page because we played the same match.
No, we don't. You won. Congratulations. We can move on.
We want to move on. Okay. I won the match, baby. 131.18 points to how much, Josh?
80.
80 what? You scored more than 80.
0.48.
Oh, 0.48. Okay. Yeah. The lowest point total, is that of this season? Or is that, I know it's the weekend for sure. Yeah. Your GM's in the chat getting at you, bro.
I mean, I can't help it that literally everyone except, thankfully Keenan Allen's making it respectable right now.
No,
he's at least got over double digits. But other than Keenan Allen and the Saints are the only 2 things that got over double digits. And if you go through my roster, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah. No, an absolute terrible week, and it's not even your fault.
No,
that's the terrible part. Or the worst part about fantasy football. It's their fault. It's all their fault. But you didn't get hit with a bipocalypse. I mean, you had Fields, get knocked out. You got Lawrence on the bench, but everybody else was playing. You could have played Stevenson. You could have played Rachaad White, and that would have gotten you an additional, 50.8 points. My math is right.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit more.
Still would have won, but still it would have.
Still would have won, but. Who would have thought? Geno Smith, Bijan Robinson, Swift, Kupp, Waddle, right? I mean, he did get injured a little bit in that game, a little banged up. Goddard, he broke his arm in that one. Godwin.
And it's not like Baker Mayfield didn't throw the ball a ton.
Yeah.
So, no. I mean.
It was ridiculous.
And Stevenson. Stevenson finally, obviously there was that 164-yard run, but this is the first game he showed any life. And Rachaad White basically did all the scoring for them. So, I mean, and he had 4 receptions for 46 yards. And, I mean, I should be starting Rachaad White, but I just look at my lineup. I'm like, where do I put him?
Yeah.
Because Godwin
who's got the best matchup? I mean,
right.
Going against Houston, I mean, not the best of defenses. For Stevenson, Washington actually has decent defense. They also did get rid of 2 linemen, right?
Mm-hmm.
In trades. So that can be something there. But still, I mean, Swift and Robinson. I mean, Robinson, what was he? Number 1 overall? No, what was he overall? 4?
Something like 5, 4 or 5.
5? Yeah. The number 5 pick overall. I mean, he's a
Arthur
phenomenal talent.
Arthur Smith is the bane of my existence because I was so big on Bijan Robinson.
You and everybody else.
I didn't care where he went. I was like, this dude's
Yeah.
a friggin' baller. And every time they hand him the ball, he does really well. They just don't want to friggin' give it to him.
No, he doesn't want to give. Smith doesn't want to give the ball to anybody. But even on my side, Jackson got 11 points. Pacheco got 6. Right now, Wilson has a fumble, with only 11 points, and then Moss got me 2.6. So, I mean, luckily, I had Justin Tucker in the Kansas City Chiefs defense to bail me out on that one, right? Each getting 14 points, 28 points from a defense and kicker. That's unheard of. You got 15 on yours. Unfortunately, the kicker got 4, which is pretty much normal for kickers. I mean, like 5 points is about, kind of where you're going to be. But
yeah, but Tyler Bass is like a top 5 kicker on this season. As far
no. I know. It's in red because it's under par. But you know what I mean, though? Like, just the point total in general. I mean, it's so upside down.
Yeah.
Where the money makers and the crowd pleasers did not get any of the points. And then the boring ass ones that nobody cares to draft, for the most part, is the ones that end up getting the points. It's ridiculous, but I even left quite a bit of points on the board with or my bench with Aaron Jones. Not gonna make that mistake now. I mean, it's definitely Jacobs and Jones going forward.
Yeah, Pacheco's
the flex. Yeah. Pacheco's going flex. Zach Moss, if somebody wants him, you can have him. I mean, I may trade him, may drop him.
Don't drop Zach Moss. Don't drop a decent running back.
Who else am I gonna? What else am I gonna do if nobody wants to trade?
That's what I'm saying. If no one wants to trade and you need a roster spot, then sure, but don't.
Yeah.
Don't give him away for free.
Daddy needs a roster spot, bud. Daddy does. But anyways, yeah. So that anything else from our game, man? I mean, we could expound on that quite a bit.
No, this is the 60% of luck that comes back and bites you in the ass. It's basically it.
30% skill, 100% motivation, power, and will. Is that what it is?
Did you just quote Fort Minor?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
That's the great. J.J. Watt classic from Hard Knocks.
Yeah, right. But no, but again, topsy-turvy week. I mean, with me being 3-5, you and 4-4. Unfortunately, now we're tied as far as record. So we're middle of the pack. Love Garden beating Team Saquon's Barksdale jumps up from 6-2 to 7-2, being only behind Tar Heel for Life, who is going to be 8-1 thanks to Super Bowl Sammy. Super Bowl Sammy, by the way. But if you want to come on the show or something, or just, I don't know, give us a photo ID of who the fuck you are. Like, we literally do not know who invited you to this league. We're happy you're here, man. You've been doing good. 5-3, and you are the only one to beat Tar Heel. And the dude beats it with having 4 people on his bench that aren't even playing, man. No, 3. Sorry, 3. How does this happen? Josh, you take it. I need another drink because I can't look at this and my brain can't compute.
Here's the other part, okay? It's that he started Jalen Hurts, which is fine, but he benched C.J. Stroud, so it could have been worse, even with him having 4 people on bye. But it's literally, I mean, when Jason gets a goose egg from Michael Thomas, who was 0 for 1 for receptions, and then the Jets defense stinks. I mean, the Chargers defense is scoring 29 points for him. C.D. Lamb goes off for 28. Deontay Johnson goes off for 22. I mean, he literally had one guy under 6, but it still was enough to get him the win. So these last 2 games are why fantasy football is a fickle bitch. Because it sometimes it giveth and taketh away. The good news is that Jason is still 8-1 on the season, and which still stinks because of this. Yeah, it just hurts. I know you're winning. I know this just sucks. This is what sucks about fantasy football. Sometimes it's like, they benched 4 people. They didn't put in a lineup, and they still beat you when you put in a full lineup. I mean, that just mathematically shouldn't happen, but sometimes it does. But good news is you still got a solid team going forward. And it's not like, obviously having Dalton Schultz on your bench and you were going to start Travis Kelce. And then the Michael Thomas and Travis Kelce, DJ Moore went for nothing pretty much. But you just had everyone that he started except for DK Metcalf hit the board really well, and he's getting 29 points from the Chargers defense.
I like how you're saying he's as if he's actually in the chat. But you know who is this guy Josh. What's up? Do you guys see JT and Aaron Jones' success continuing? I hope so for Aaron Jones. Unfortunately, as a Zach Moss owner, I see JT as far as Jonathan Taylor Thomas. That's what I call him. Actually continuing as well. What do you think about DJ Moore though? Could he regain wide receiver 10 status once Field is back?
It just depends on how much that thumb is healed. I mean, it works. Him and Fields definitely have the chemistry.
Right.
And unlike Badgen, who like spreads the ball around, Justin Fields has a F it DJ's down there somewhere type of thing that worked. And I mean, it's just I think so, but I'm like 40% yes. I'm 60-40, 60's leaning towards no, just because I don't know how healthy Justin Fields is, but
Fields will be, yeah.
But if Fields comes back and he's healthy, then yes, I'll put it that way. Is he fully healthy and the thumb is not bothering him? I just don't know.
Yeah.
If
now for Fields, he's left-handed, correct?
I don't think so.
Okay, who's the left-handed quarterback?
Kyler.
Right, Kyler, but there's one other one though right now. But yeah,
Tua.
Tua, thank you. Tua's the left-handed. Yeah, so Fields, it was his throwing hand that got injured. So yeah, that's rough. I mean, and with the way their season has gone, I mean, who knows really where they're going to be as far as being aggressive. I mean, a lot of people thought that Fields was going to lose his job at the beginning of the year, anyways. But yeah. But man, I mean, best of luck though.
Thanks for the question. But yeah,
if you have JT, Aaron Jones, and DJ Moore, you're sitting pretty, bud.
Yeah, you'd be fine. But it's just the Bears. But the DJ Moore's there. We'll be sure to sprinkle in a couple movie references for you there, Smithy.
Yeah, Smithy. Hey, after this, we'll do a hangout in the Discord, so that way we can answer all your questions of who the fuck we're talking about, or just to hang out. And if you want to join the Discord, join the Patreon. Patreon.com/RuckusEV. Be like our good friend Alan Smithy here and some others who are our patrons. And Josh, do you think I have a chance to take the title from him?
Well, he's got a
I don't know. Who is Josh? Is he in our league?
No,
is this one of our league guys?
No, I think it's just a nice little person that comes at PPR league is Lamar, JT, Aaron Jones, Tyreek, DJ Moore, Kittle, and Christian Kirk. I'm in third. This is the number one guys roster. Allen, Moss, AJ Brown, Evans, Laporta. It's tough with AJ Brown putting up that much numbers.
Yeah, and then Kittle versus Laporta, because Laporta's been more consistent. Kittle has had spikes, but
I think Thielen is dropping off a little bit. I think the old man is catching up to him.
It's winter time.
Yeah.
It's getting cold. I'm feeling it in my bones.
Yeah.
I know. I feel it in my bones too. That's why I'm wearing
Evans and DJ Moore are kind of the same.
On
that.
Man, you got Tyreek, bud. I mean, it's just a bad week for Tyreek, but
if that's Zach Moss, then yes, I like your situation. If that's the Moss you're talking about.
Oh, right.
On that.
Who's K9?
I'm not for sure. If you can elaborate who K9 is, I can definitely give you a better.
Man, any given Sunday, bud. Any given Sunday. I mean, so just like if you're kind of watching, just like with us going through these,
Okay, I thought it was Kenneth
I shouldn't
Walker.
have won.
Okay.
I really should not have won. Any given week, you look at that matchup, Josh is going to take it from me every time. But this just luck of the draw. I won. Oh, Kenneth Walker. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I like Kenneth Walker. He's so consistent. The Ravens are just a freaking wagon right now.
Yeah, what is going on there, man? Because now, I mean, looking at their stats and looking at like rankings, they almost seem like they can just get walked all over. I mean, this is what 2-3 matches in a row. 2 of them for sure that they've only gotten 3 points, because against the Raiders they only got 3 points.
Yeah.
Right? No, or maybe 10. But hey, there you go. Awesome, Soul.
There you go. There you go, Josh. Yeah, go to patreon.com/RuckusEV. If you go back to our past episode, I got dyslexic everything backwards, but it's okay.
Yeah, and join us, because we do. We are sitting at hour 15. Josh, we did it, bud.
We did it.
We did it. I mean, we fumbled through all the fucking names. Speaking for myself, we didn't have the video done. We were late to start. We still did it, man. We got it done. So thank you so much, man, for being patient, and thank you, Soul, for being in the background. You're the best. We're getting better for you, girl. We're getting better for you. We can get a Josh to take over Josh. Oh, hey, there we go. Josh on Josh.
The battle of the Josh has already happened. It was in Nebraska. That was we already did that. It's an actual true story.
Yeah. Well, I think she's just Josh. Anyways. Hey, dad joke for the night.
That's a good way to end.
Oh, I know, right? It's the best. Yeah. And so I'm Tvshka. This is Josh. And for Soul in the background, we thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Definitely stay tuned. Hopefully by midnight, we will have a video that will drop, kind of highlighting some of the quarterback injuries, as well as a lot of the rookies kind of stepping up. Or just the backups, basically, because backups are back. All right. Brendan Marr coming in late.
Hey, Brendan.
But we're jumping off. So definitely like, subscribe, leave a comment down there. Let us know who your team is, who you're trying to beat, and what their address is, so we can beat them up for you, so you can win. Just kidding, we're not going to do that. But anyways, but no, you can support us by going to streamlabs.com/RuckusEV/tip, I believe. But then also you can join us too, because this isn't the only show we do, and it's also not the only show that we're going to do. So if you're interested in actually learning some of the behind the scenes work, some design, some of the on screen, give us a holler. We definitely want to help you fulfill your dreams and want you to join our team. So that way we can just all work together and learn from each other in the process. And you can do that at patreon.com/RuckusEV. And then follow us everywhere at RuckusEV. Anything else, Josh? Anything else you got, bud?
My team's going to actually score points next week. That's what I
like it. I like it.
Our team. Sorry, Soul. Our team is going to score points next week.
That's a good save.
Yeah.
She's about to come through that camera right there. But seriously, guys, we hope and we manifest all the sports points for your teams as well as ours. You guys have a good week. This was a great night, but you guys take care. Peace.